will be, that more you're going to remember. You best believe that. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. Let's get to it. We've been going behind. We fell behind a little bit, but it's all right. We always on time, even when we fall behind. That's just a rhyme that just sounds good. That's just one of the things that just sound good. But with that, first and foremost, let me rise and give perfect praise to the great God of the universe, Allah. I give honor, a perfect honor, to his prophet, your prophet, the universal prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Whether you accept him or not, he is Allah's prophet. I give a perfect honor to the forerunner, the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh for all Moorish Americans. All Moorish Americans pointed by the prophet, Brother Eliel. I give honor to all those who's doing work. It doesn't matter if you proclaimed or not, Moorish science or not. If you're doing the work to uplift our people, I'm telling you, I salute you and I give you honor, because I'm telling you, that doing this work, it ain't for everybody. I'm trying to tell you. And so I honor you. With that, family, welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. Now, I have one issue. House rules. Family, if you cuss, use bad language in the chat, you're going to be warned. I'm going to tell you why. I have a real intelligent 8-year-old, and he hear me hooping and hollering, screaming and yelling, and he will go right on his Xbox and watch the show. I don't need him seeing that or even hearing that. So I don't allow any cursing on this platform whatsoever. My son will actually read the comments. So I would ask that all the disrespect and the foolishness stay at a minimum. This is about idealistically looking at concepts that's good for our people. It's not personal. And it's never going to be personal on this show. That's why I keep it all pumped up. You know, I'm a happy guy. Even when I address people misinformation, for the most part, I just want to see our people wake up some way, shape, or form. But with that, I yield the floor to my guest, my brother, Brother RIZZA Islam. Welcome to the show, my brother. I'm going to yield the floor to you, let you introduce yourself, and then you can take it away, and you can hand it back to me as you see fit. I'm going to leave it before, because we already know what this is about. So let's go, Brother RIZZA Islam. Are you there, brother?
Yes, sir. Peace. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. How are you?
Alaikum salam, sir.
Yes, sir, my brother. I'm doing fine, thank Allah. I'm here on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam to clarify, refute, and to bring certainty as to what this circumstance is that so many people have taken interest in all of a sudden, which is the topic of the Nation of Islam and the Church of Scientology. There have been many lies. As a matter of fact, nearly every single statement from nearly every single person has been a lie. And so I, being one who has studied this technology for nearly 16 years, and by this technology, I'm referring to the technology of Scientology. I have studied it personally for the last 16 years, and I was born in the Nation of Islam, hence the last name Islam. There was no pushing of Scientology onto the community. There is no pushing of Scientology onto the community by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, nor the Nation of Islam. So what I'm here to do simply is to bring, once again, clarity, certainty, and to refute all of the insanity so that we can come back to the original work, which is going after the dead, the original Asiatic nation, or the Black Aboriginal, for those who don't like the term Black, indigenous, original Asiatic nation. So that is what I'm here to do. We're going to get right into it, brother, when you are ready, because we are original family. There is no hostility for any individual here. There is hostility towards falsehood, which all of us agree and how we are taught from our lessons and from our teachings, whether it be the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, the Nawabians, whatever group you are a part of in the so-called conscious community. One thing we can agree on is that we despise, we dislike, and we absolutely disagree with falsehood, and particularly when it is aimed at one of us, causing division one from another when we all have the same enemy. So we are not one another's enemy. We are brothers joined at the hip, whether if we like it or not. And this enemy will continue to show his face, whether if he wears a black face to do the job or if he wears the traditional white face to do it. So that is what I'm here to do. Once again, as a youth representative on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I yield the floor back to you, my brother, for the next person to introduce themselves so we can get right into
it. Islam. Hey, and now when I say Islam, I'm actually saying your name. So it's all cool. With that being said, Brother Ishmael Bey, are you there, brother?
Yes, sir. Peace and blessings. How you doing, Brother Tarka?
Brother, I'm doing well, brother. I think this is going to be a beautiful, dynamic, interesting dialogue. And I would say, don't hold back any of the questions and any of the dialogue that may inform the people. But you know, we are upright brothers that we're able to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. But why don't you introduce yourself to the people and let them know that your position, and we can get straight into it, brother.
Of course. Yes, I'm Brother Ishmael Bey. Again, you know, co-founder I'm at Raw Squad. You know, staying busy, making sure that the community stays, you know, well informed and always, you know, trying to progress and putting out the accurate information and the truth so that the masses are able to ascertain that truth and we can advance as a people. I will absolutely stand by my position that Scientology is falsehood. It's rooted in falsehood. It is being pushed on our community. And of course, we've already provided the audio of members of the Nation of Islam saying that they are the gatekeepers of the Black community and they will be pushing Scientology onto the Black community. So in other words, when Professor Denham L and myself came forward to the public to let them know that there was a relationship going on of Scientology being pushed into the community, we were already being called liars before the Nation of Islam came out and admitted it. Don't forget, before the video or the lecture that came out, Put on the New Man, came out where it was admitted, we were already alerting the community of that relationship. So us being told that we're spreading falsehood, again, we were proven as 100% correct. We told the public about the different locations that were going to be opening up, and absolutely it's opening up right in Atlanta, right in Detroit, right in Chicago, right in Harlem. We identified these places before. We're talking about 2009, 2008, as we were ascertaining that information and spreading it to the people. So we have our position as far as making sure that the community stays well informed of the falsehood, and we're here to dialogue with the brother. I concur 100% that we are all family. We are all family, and there's going to be much more things that we are going to be unified about. But on this particular point, we are absolutely diametrically opposed, and we're here to share that information and make sure that the people get the truth. So thank you, brother.
Okay, with that, I'm gonna swing back to you real quick before I give it to RIZZA Islam. What is your ultimate? Let's use the term conflict. What is conflicting with you as it relates to Scientology and the Nation of Islam? I think that would segue us right into the conversation. What actually bothers you about that relationship with Scientology and the Nation of Islam?
Well, we can't be fed a false savior. We can't be we can't be fed false hope. You know, we know and understand that we go through a unique position here in America. And the savior and the saint is not L. Ron Hubbard. So that type of teaching of trying to convince us of that has to be addressed, as well as us being obligated to teach the truth when we know it. When you know the truth, you're obligated to teach the truth. So that is exactly what's happening, brother.
Indeed. Brother RIZZA Islam, would you like to bounce off of that?
Absolutely. Number one, I'm going to say Islam to my brother. And thank you very much for accepting, I would say, the challenge of proving what it is that you are saying you are standing on. Another thing I did not mention is I once again have been studying this for 16 years, which if you count, I'm referring back to all the way in 1999. So when you accepted this, and thank you for admitting and verifying that you, along with many others, have been pushing the propaganda to slander the name of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I'm saying this in love because I am your brother. But the thing is, you did not know about me. And it is a good thing that Allah had it happen at this time, and in this way, because we cannot work for the white man nor the system of white supremacy, whether if we are aware or unaware that we are doing so. So now, in response to what he has stated, number one, L. Ron Hubbard, the savior. Never, ever has the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stated that L. Ron Hubbard, LRH, is the savior for us or for any of the people. Never has he stated that he is the savior, LRH. He has stated that L. Ron Hubbard is for white people, not us, the original man, the original Asiatic people. Point number one. Point number two, false hope, false savior. I would like for you to clarify what it is, because when the people are listening to us, we have to be very careful with the minds of the people. So when you say false hope, false savior, what you are what it's relegating to is making the people believe that we are in fact actually saying that LRH is a savior. Never have we said that. Our savior is Almighty God Allah, who we believe appeared to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Never has that changed. Never will it change. That is our stance from back then in 1930 all the way up to present time. And you absolutely can come to any mosque and prove your statement, because thus far you have not proven anything. So for number one, number two, and number three, L. Ron Hubbard is not our savior. The Church of Scientology, once again, is their own religious group and organization, just like the Moorish Science Temple of America is your own group. And other groups look at you just like they look at us, the Nation of Islam, which is our own group. Each one will classify the savior possibly in a different way, with the exception of us being the Moorish Science Temple Nation of Islam. We believe in Allah. We agree on that. But the Church of Scientology, they have something called the 8 dynamics, which is 8 parts of life. Number 8 is the supreme being, or what they classify as infinity. They believe that any religious group, any organization that has a name for God, they classify the 8th part of life as God, the supreme being, or infinity, and whatever name you give to that, that is your belief. That is what they have. They do not have a name for a God with them. They call it the supreme being, infinity, but we call our God Allah. Very simple, very simple. And once again, there is no pushing of false hope or false saviors by the Church of Scientology through the Nation of Islam. They push what they push, we push what we push, and you push what you push. I absolutely would love to hear more proof of that statement, because once again, so far you have not proven anything. You have definitely proved that there is a level of ignorance among us, and I absolutely am excited to continue in this conversation.
Yes, we have the actual facts that Minister Tony Muhammad has called L. Ron Hubbard an angelic figure and a saint. We have absolutely that quote, and I dare you to deny it. He's called him an angelic figure, and yes, he is not. I know that, and he is not. He is the devil. And by you pushing that agenda of him being an angelic figure, you are now trying to say that he is in some type of angelic status. He is not of an angelic status. We know and we understand that the white man is absolutely the devil. And by that teaching, it is altering the core values and the core teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It is being pushed by the Nation of Islam that if white people take Scientology, they will no longer be devils anymore. That's what's being taught by Nation of Islam members in the Church of Scientology to black people. You cannot undevil the white man by them practicing Scientology. And that's what's being taught by the Nation of Islam.
Okay, let me respond to that. One, the first statement you made, and this is another thing that you will absolutely come to realize. I am a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and we study and we are right and exact. So you stated, number one, that L. Ron Hubbard is being pushed by members of the Nation of Islam as a savior. Then you simply changed your statement and said an angelic figure, as stated and quoted by Minister Tony Muhammad, who is my minister in Mosque 27, Los Angeles, California. That statement is correct as it pertains to white people and how they see L. Ron Hubbard. Absolutely correct. Just like people in the community see Allah as a devil god or a moon god, that is exactly the difference in perception and the difference with belief. They have their belief. We have our belief. So if we simply communicate the accuracy of their belief to them, then that is perfectly fine for them. But they, meaning the Church of Scientology, have their own set of beliefs, just as we have our own set of beliefs in the Nation of Islam. An angelic figure is what they have seen based off of the results in their personal lives through using and applying the technology of Scientology and Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. I'm referring to Caucasian people in the Church of Scientology. Once again, listen very carefully. I want to make sure I'm saying everything specifically so that there will not be anyone who can take this as a soundbite and put it in 60-second clips to try to paint the Nation of Islam as something other than the Nation of Islam. So the angelic figure statement, I remember exactly when that was. And I'm thankful that you mentioned Put on the New Man lecture that was done in 2010, because I'm also going to delve into that as well. That statement was referring to the way white people, Scientologists, perceive L. Ron Hubbard as an angelic figure. And for us and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he absolutely acknowledged the good works, because the results of the Church of Scientology for white people and for those who they have helped have been good results. Now, I'm going to say this to you, my brother. Nearly 20 years of my life have I studied this technology, and I have witnessed the results of their work. I will never lie simply because I disagree with simply a group of people who are Caucasian. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to speak the truth regardless to whom or what. And the work that they have done locally as well as internationally has been, from what I have witnessed for 16 years, has been good work. I'm not going to lie. It is the same thing with the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the work that the individuals that I know has been good work. Same thing with the Nation of Islam. But what the enemy does, the enemy takes something and skews it and lies. So what I am clarifying and making sure here, brother, is that you are not working for the enemy by pushing lies, because all of the work that has been done by the Church of Scientology, once again, I'm not supporting and I'm not bowing down to white people. I'm not pushing Scientology. I am simply confessing truth, which is they have done good work. Next point, you said that it is of the devil. I would like to ask this question after I make this statement. Where in any of the works, books, publications, articles of L. Ron Hubbard has he stated anything dealing with this being of the devil, occult, anything that you can point to? Any of the work and the results of the Church of Scientology pointing to the fact that, oh my God, this is of the devil? I need you to point these out, because so far you're making statements with no proof, brother, and you are saying the Nation of Islam is pushing this devilishment when that is 100% incorrect, and it is a lie, and it is of the enemy, because we know the enemy has tricks, lies, and he is a fork-tongued devil. And yes, we still believe that the white man is the devil. The definite article, white man is the devil. But right now, for some reason, there are black devils as well, along with devils who do anything that devalues the whole human family. So I would love for your response to that.
Sure. Can we please
one moment, Ish. Let me chime in real quick. I want to say, just for clarification, Ishmael Bey was a member and continue to be a I think I can speak for Ishmael Bey, and continue to be a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He has never been in the Moorish Science Temple of America. So I think that's a part of, and I think I can speak for him, that's a part of his contention, is that it goes off the cliff from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because he's been a member of the Nation of Islam, I think for a decade, you know, and I think that's part of. But he can tell you better than me.
You did a wonderful job. You did a wonderful job in clarifying that. I greatly do appreciate that, brother. On the back chat, if we can post up the video, and the video is from 9 minutes to 9:45, so it's 45 seconds. If we can simply play that clip, that will lay the groundwork of the position of what we're saying, because he's saying that the evidence is not being presented. So let's see if the evidence is being presented that the Nation of Islam are teaching black people that Scientology makes white men not the devil anymore. Let's see if that's a fact, or if he's lying or not. 9 minutes,
no,
nine minutes to 9:45. Please don't interrupt me, brother. I never said one word when you spoke. Please give me
Absolutely. We will get into this, brother.
that I've felt all my life. I'm 62 years old. I have never felt that among Scientologists. Yes, right. Among whites that I've felt all my life. I'm 62 years old. I have never felt that among Scientologists. Yes, right. This is something that is boggling to the mind of a black Muslim. Yes, sir. See, what happened to these people that we were taught were devils? Well, they were processed by Scientology. Yes, sir. That's right. And if they were devils, they're not devils anymore. That's right.
Yes, I'm supposed to be on the program. I was having trouble with my software.
So I want to thank you, brother. He said that Scientology makes them not the devil anymore. Exactly what was stated. Now, the question is, can the devil be reformed? Absolutely not. It's coming directly from the supreme wisdom. So it's a straight Farah contradiction. One after another. As soon as we present the facts that they're teaching in front of these people, that Scientology makes them not the devil anymore, that it reforms them, and we point this out, then they start throwing out the terms like, are you an agent? Are you? No, we are simply teaching the truth to the people. We're coming in peace, but we're making sure that the people get the right information to let the people know that they're being fed misinformation. Can the devil be reformed, brother?
No, sir. No, he cannot.
Why is this gentleman standing in the Church of Scientology saying that Scientology makes the white man not the devil anymore?
My question to you, brother, is, was that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
No, that is not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. No, not at all. Not at all.
It is
Minister Ali Muhammad that is teaching that. So are you correcting him, or are you denouncing that, or are you standing by that?
I'm standing by what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says. He is not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, though he is a member of the Nation of Islam, and I love and respect Dr. Ali Muhammad, and I will not be put against our brothers.
So we are not wrong. So hold on, brother. So we are not wrong when we say the Nation of Islam is teaching that.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm responding to your statement. Let me respond to your statement. You said that they are pharaonically, you said Farrakhan is teaching and the Nation of Islam is pushing this. No, sir, you have not presented the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You presented someone else. He is not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Do you have something showing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan making that statement? Because if you don't, then you have to stop lying and saying that Minister Farrakhan said, and the Nation of Islam is pushing. One person is not the entire Nation of Islam, simply as one Moor is not the entire Moorish nation. If one misspeaks, and I believe that what Dr. Aleem said, he may have misspoken, but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was very clear, and there are multiple videos, and I absolutely implore you to pick up any one of those videos on YouTube. We have time for you to do it now, and let me know, what did the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say? Because if you are a follower, brother, of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, then you would have listened to his instruction when he said about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, where he says, go. When you see him, look at him. He will get you across the river, and he will not say, look what I have done, but look at what Allah has done. So if you are not,
I would like to respond to that. I would like to respond to that.
If you are not following the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, then you are not a true follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because those words came from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we can pull that clip up on YouTube where the messenger made that statement.
You can attempt to filibuster and overtalk, or we can have a simple conversation.
No, sir. I wish to address something. I was responding, brother. I was just responding to what you said as we were going before. Yes, sir.
So one moment real quick, brother Ish, stand by. We got Kevin. I don't know who introduced the brother in, but let the brother introduce himself to the Moorish World TV audience real quick. Brother Kevin, are you there, brother?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience? We got 238 people watching. I ask that everybody give a thumbs up so this conversation can be circulated around YouTube. The more thumbs up you get, it don't do nothing for me, but what it does is it helps to put it in the algorithm of YouTube so people can get the notice and get it going up the stream, up the side of that screen. But with that, Brother Kevin, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Yes, I'd like to say assalamu alaikum to my brothers and to the panel, and to state that in the name of Allah who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, I bear witness there's no God but Allah, and I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is his last and surely his greatest messenger. I'm Kevin Ali. I've been a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad since approximately 1987. I'm currently calling out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Indeed. And so, my brother, let me ask you, what do you have to add to the conversation before I swing it back over to Ishmael Bey?
Well, I had a little trouble logging into the back office, so I missed a little bit. But one question I did have for Brother RIZZA, really, am I pronouncing that correctly, brother?
Brother RIZZA.
Yes, brother RIZZA.
Right. It's Brother RIZZA, I believe, right? Brother RIZZA.
Brother RIZZA.
Brother RIZZA.
Oh, you ain't correct me, Brother RIZZA. Come on, man.
I was going to get there in my intro. I said my brother's all love. I know.
I did at one point want to address the statement that Brother RIZZA made from about go where he said go. But the first point that I noticed that the brother said was that L. Ron Hubbard never said that Scientology was from the devil. Well, we do not need L. Ron Hubbard to tell us whether it's from the devil or not. The question is L. Ron Hubbard a white man or not? If he is a Caucasian person, one of the members of Yaqub's grafted devils, then anything that he produced is certainly from the devil. For there is no other devil other than the flesh and blood one that lives and breathes here in the United States of America and all over the planet Earth.
May I respond to that, brother?
Indeed, bro.
Absolutely. Number one, I see that you made the statement, brother, and walaikum salam to you, my brother. And thank you for being a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I respect, unlike many other people, I respect our pioneers and those who came before us, who laid the line for us to be able to wear this bow tie and to be able to say assalamu alaikum, because many of you went through many things, including those who have lost their life in the name and cause of Islam. So I thank you, brother, for being a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's number one. Number two, regarding L. Ron Hubbard being a devil and him and his technology, you stated that we do not need L. Ron Hubbard to state that he is the devil or from the devil, because let's just make this very clear. Brother Ishmael Bey stated that L. Ron Hubbard is the devil, is what he said. Now, he is not the devil. He is if you want to classify him per the skin, because the skin, as we are taught per the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is not devil. It is not the skin that makes one the devil. It is the mind which makes one the devil, and what he carries out with the workings of his hands. Because if what you are stating is true, then when a black man kills another black man, he has acted out devilish behavior, because he is now infected with the mind of the Caucasian race, which is what is titled in the Dianetics book, the reactive mind. So that is the mind of Satan, the mind of Shaitan, the mind of the devil, but it is not skin. The white skin is not the devil. Wanted to clarify that. Number two, if this technology, because this is where people get mixed up at, this was never founded by L. Ron Hubbard. The Church of Scientology was founded in 1955. Dianetics was founded in 1950. The said Nation of Islam in the West was founded July 4th, 1930, but we know that there is no birth record to Islam. So the technology at the very first page of the book Dianetics, L. Ron Hubbard says, quote, "This is a recording of over 50,000 years of history upon which the system of Dianetics and Scientology would not exist." And he said over 50,000 years, of thinking men upon which Scientology would not exist, or Dianetics. The credit is theirs, not mine. Now, we know the Caucasian does not span over 6,105 years, but L. Ron Hubbard gave the credit to all that he has in his materials, in his books, to that of the original man. Many of you, absolutely each one of you, I know, have not studied Dianetics, because if you did, you would know that this white man never claimed that he originated any of this, but the original man did. So that statement in that book, and you can go read it for yourself, buy a Dianetics book, open to the very first page, and you will see where he gives the credit to over 50,000 years of thinking men, which can only be an Asiatic original Aboriginal man and or woman.
Well, please explain.
So just because he said it, that means where it came from. What was it called when he got it, and who did he get it from? He didn't pull it out of thin air, or did he?
Thank you for asking me that question. Number one, you're going to continue to say what L. Ron Hubbard did not say. However, I know for a fact that most of what is being received from those who are trying to talk about the nation is coming from white people, including Leah Remini on her television show right now dealing with Scientology, which is where many of you and others are receiving your false information from. So what it was called before Dianetics, L. Ron Hubbard traveled the world. He became an honorary Blackfoot Indian. By the time he was 6 years old, he met with the Buddhist monks. He met with different tribes. And he stated that all of this, no, honorary Blackfoot Indian according to his writing. Now, I'm only stating the facts that he stated about his writing. Now, other people can make statements about his writing, but if I were to go along with that way of thinking, then I would have to go along with what other people say about the Moorish Science Temple, about what other people say about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, about what other people say about the Nation of Islam. And I think when it comes to stating actual facts, we should not do that. We should go to the source. So according to his source, he stated, once again, he did not originate this. The name Scientology comes from Scio, meaning knowing in the fullest sense of the word. Ology means the study of. The word Scientology itself means the study of knowledge. Or
is that the origin? Is that the origin of the word Scientology?
Yes, sir. Go into Greek. Please do. It is not science-ology. That is the main misconception people have. Scientology is not science-ology. Science-ology would be the study of science. Scientology means the study of knowledge and the study of knowing how to know in the fullest sense of the word. Dianetics means through the soul, the study of the soul or the mind. It is the modern science of mental health. There is no hypnotism in that book. There is no psychiatry in that book. It goes over original techniques by the original people that L. Ron Hubbard got from the original people, and he documents that he got these things from the original people. If you go and grab all of his books, matter of fact, for some reason, I'm sure if not each and every one of you, all of you may have not stepped inside of a Scientology org, which you can go inside of their building and buy their books, and you can look at it for yourself. Go find every problem wrong, buy the books and say, listen, let me find something wrong. Do that. I recommend, because I have done it myself. And thus far, everything that you're saying is not correct. So yes, sir, the original name of it, there is no original name after the study of knowing how to know or the study of knowledge, because it comes from the Greek words Scio and ology, that's Scientology, and Dianetics, dia and nous, meaning the study of the mind or the study of or through the soul. That is the two areas by L. Ron Hubbard. But once again, above all of this, Dianetics started before Scientology, and he stated in the book Dianetics at the beginning that this is a collection of over 50,000 years of thinking men upon which Dianetics and Scientology could not exist. The credit is theirs, not mine. So this white man, this devil, gave the credit to the original people and said, listen, it ain't mine, it's y'all's. I'm just putting it in words that we can agree with over here, but it's your technology. So that is ours. And when you read the books, when you read the information, you look at the technology, you will see absolutely that's our technology. This ain't some white people's technology. This came from the original people. It's our technology, and we have the right to study everything under the sun, moon, and stars, because as we both know, everything beneath the sun, moon, and stars belongs to Islam, belongs to Allah.
So unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I had to mute y'all because y'all was, I think you was typing and it was filtering in. So I muted Brother Kevin. That's it. But before you go, Ish, I see you just sent me a link. Let's give Brother Kevin Muhammad. I think he wanted to say something real quick, and then I'll hit your link. You have to unmute yourself, my brother Kevin Muhammad. Let me see if I can do it for you. Okay, you're unmuted.
They're still muted, brother. I don't hear him.
Brother Kevin, are you there? Kevin Ali, my bad. Well, he's not muted. Maybe he has some interruption. With that, Brother Ish, the floor is yours, brother.
Yes, sir. Our brother said that L. Ron Hubbard invented the word Scientology. Scientology was used as a word 50 years before L. Ron Hubbard ever used it. I asked him, did he originate the name Scientology? And he said yes. So I like to refer. No, I like to refer. No. Everybody heard you say. I said, did he originate the name Scientology? And you said yes. So I like to refer the source of the word Scientology. It is, the book is called The New Word on the Meaning of the Word Idealist. They use the word Scientology over 4 times in the book. And the origin of the word Scientology means pseudoscience. Did you know that, brother?
Really? 1 second, brother. Go back and tell me where it says pseudoscience and what language is it from. Let us go to the let's go to the
it's in English. It's in English. And the name of the book is A New Word.
What language is older, Greek or English?
No, it's in English. Yeah.
What language is older, Greek or English, brother?
No, he used it 5 decades before L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard did not invent the word Scientology, brother. Did you know that?
No, sir. I never said L. Ron Hubbard invented it, but your point, and let's go with your point. Which language is older, English or Greek? Because I defined it per the Greek definition, not English. English is older.
Derives from Greek.
English is pardon me.
All Greek English derives from Latin, brother. English derives from Latin.
Mm-hmm. Right. Greek. So which language?
So it was in a book. It was in a book 5 decades before L. Ron Hubbard. Did you know that?
Yes, sir. You're proving my point that it came from the original people. I hope you understand.
I'm not proving your point. I'm proving you wrong. You didn't know that. So my point is this. I'm glad that the public can see that you cannot even admit when you are simply incorrect. But let's go on.
Sir.
Let me continue. Let me continue our next point. Let's continue.
Thus far, you have been proven wrong with everything you have stated. I've dismantled everything, and I want you to continue on your point so that I can continue to dismantle them. Because now I see what you're
please allow me to continue with my point.
Please, bring it all, brother, so you can deal with it.
Please allow me to do that. Thank you. Okay. So now let's go to the source of who Xenu is, because we have to go to the source of the root of where Dianetics is coming from. If it's a false root, and it will not bear a real fruit. So let's go to the root and let's play the clip of L. Ron Hubbard explaining the Xenu story. Thank you. Brother Tucker, can you please play that?
How much you want to play of it? I see it's 8 minutes in there.
You know what? We can play a little bit of it, and then we're going to build on the Xenu story. But I need for the public to hear L. Ron Hubbard telling the Xenu story, and then let's have the brother prove that it's true.
76 planets. The incident, too, it is a very long, involved, and complex instance, about 36 days. It starts out normally with a capture, some kind or another. Don't think of yourself as I'm trying to run a capture of having an airy-fairying around in the air and somebody something or other and got you down with a net and all that. Because people at that particular time and space were walking around in clothes which looked very remarkably like the clothes they wear at this very minute. And the cars they drove looked exactly the same, and the trains they ran looked the same, and the boats they had looked the same. Circa 1950, 1960, this civilization has simply copied R6 100% because they were told to.
Right. So thank you, brother. I think that's a good sample. I would invite for the people to simply pull up the information of L. Ron Hubbard dealing with the history of Xenu, so that they can understand, as you just heard L. Ron Hubbard saying, that 75 to 76 trillion years ago, there was on the planet Tediac the exact identical civilization as the 1950s. And then they flew DC-10 airplanes across the universe and landed on this planet. And then they dropped these souls into volcanoes, which is why you have a volcano on the front of the Dianetics book. So then these little thetans then cling on to your body, and then you have to go through the auditing in order to get these little spirits off your body. This spooky Saturday morning cartoon is what they are pushing on our people. And you have to know and understand that that is rooted in 100% falsehood. Hanna-Barbera couldn't make a story that fantastical. It's 100% straight false. And what we are saying is that to mix that type of a lie and interweave it with the teaching of Muhammad, what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted to do. So I'd like for the brother to explain and show and prove that 76 trillion years ago, it was an identical civilization as the 1950s. I'll wait.
Yes, sir. You know, it's very interesting. I used to watch the debates, and I'm going to respond right now. I used to watch the debates with brothers who would do exactly what you're doing, and I've watched so many. So I'm going to do something a little new, which is I'm going to stay on the point, and I'm going to bring it to the truth. And I'm going to say, one, do you and have you ever seen anyone in the Nation of Islam teach Xenu? Because that is a part of the Scientology religious belief. So we have our belief. We believe in Allah God. We know about the 76 trillion year history. We know about the 66 trillion years ago history of the deportation of the moon. We know about all of that. That is what we teach. That is our belief in our religious group and organization. The Moorish Science Temple of America, you have a different set of religious philosophy, even though it's supposed to be science, seeing how from my understanding, it was called, no, 1 second, brother. No, 1 second. I'm responding. So
I keep referring to him being a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
I know. I'm no, because we have Moorish brothers on, and we have brothers who are followers of the Most High Elijah Muhammad. So I'm going down.
Moorish as an example. I'm trying to tell you that he's a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
He wants to stand firm on what Elijah teaches, and that's the conflict. That's what this is all about.
Absolutely. That is what
America don't have a horse in the race in this. We don't.
Well, right now, the only horse is that it's your platform. And I also watched yesterday.
I got you, brother.
That's all. So I'm not, taking jabs at my brothers. No, it's just, I'm going down.
I just want to make sure that you know that his position is that, he wants to preserve the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that's the conflict.
Absolutely. And the answer to that is number one, absolutely. We are sticking to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and seeing how he is a follower is what he says he is. If you are a follower, once again, according to the words of the messenger, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you would be following the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan if you were listening to the words of the messenger.
L. Ron Hubbard, brother. Let's deal with L. Ron. We just played L. Ron Hubbard. No. Let's not talk about Farrakhan. Let's talk about what we just played.
Brother, I'm dealing with him. 1 second, brother. I'm dealing with him. Thank you for muting his mic. I'm dealing with him. But what I will not do as a young brother, this is the difference between right now is the wisdom we have learned from how debates are set up and how people will deflect for emotional response. You don't want the people to know the truth, because if you did, then you would teach the truth about what it is that we are saying. There is no pushing of L. Ron Hubbard. The 76 trillion year signs that we believe, once again, you are talking about someone else's religious belief. We are Muslims in the Nation of Islam, and we study the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We also study all types of sciences all over the planet, because we know all knowledge and wisdom belongs to us as the original people. So we have the right to study and gain knowledge from cradle to grave, my brother, according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who he taught white people at his feet. He continued to teach them. So let us be very clear, brother. L. Ron Hubbard, his statement that he made was for Scientologists and those who believe that. But what you are missing here is that the courses, there are different parts to this. The courses that he has produced, I have not read anything about a Xenu, just so you know. Number one, this is why I'm like, wow, this is interesting to me. I've heard of the Xenu circumstance. I've heard of the Thetans, which is a Greek word meaning spirit. I've heard of everything that you're saying. So I thank you for bringing that up. However, the point is, L. Ron Hubbard, Nation of Islam, are we pushing Scientology, or are we pushing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad? And thus far,
then let me explain. Let me explain.
No. I heard you, brother.
Can I get a word in? Can I say anything?
Brother, you're going to get the floor right back, brother. You got to let him finish.
Yes, sir. No, brother Ishmael, you absolutely will get the floor back. I guarantee, brother. I'm not going to trail off to where we lose points.
Yes, you are.
No, sir, I'm not. And once again, you don't know me. So that's the difference between you and whoever else you've dealt with. I'm a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Can we get a word in edgewise?
Brother, I'm responding. And if we were face to face, I would still talk the same way, because this is the truth. So as your brother, let's just dialogue. So I'm going to continue on the point. L. Ron Hubbard and the pushing of Scientology is not what is occurring with the Nation of Islam. We are studying just like we study everything, as we are taught to study everything, the technology of Scientology, Dianetics, history, law, biology. We have the right to study anything. However, our home, our foundation, and our base is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Holy Quran, and of course the supreme wisdom, and of course the poison book, because we must study every religious book so that we may communicate with everyone of a religious background and faith. So the Church of Scientology and the Xenu circumstance is for those who believe in that, who call themselves Scientologists, and who practice Scientology as their religion. But with us in the Nation of Islam, we study the technology, because technology can be added to you to make you a better whatever you are if you need it. If you can grab a little something here to help you to be a better Muslim, grab a little something there to help you to be a better Muslim, we do that. So definitely, brother, I just want to address that point. So the Xenu deflection, I am not going to have to prove something about L. Ron Hubbard and what he pushes for Scientologists. I am preaching and teaching on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. That is what I am addressing. So you can talk to Scientologists, brother, go to the org and talk to them about L. Ron Hubbard and the Xenu circumstance. That did not come from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you say you're a follower of Elijah Muhammad. So how about we stay on the teachings that we push, which are from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, because L. Ron Hubbard is not our message.
No, how about we don't do that? How about we deal with, how can I get a word in, please, brother?
Yes,
I just wish to say a simple thing.
Breathe, brother. You're going to get the floor right now. Let me ask a question as we segue into this. Brother, do you believe that and then you take the floor, it's yours, and then give it to Kevin after you, brother Kevin Ali. Do you believe that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the rightful successor of the Honorable Minister Elijah Muhammad, of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Who are you asking that to?
Are you there?
Are you asking me that or?
No, brother Ishmael Bey.
I'm sorry. What was your question, sir? Do I believe that he's the rightful successor? You said.
Yeah. Do you believe that he's the rightful successor of the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? Do you believe that he's the rightful successor of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? And let me tell you why I asked that, because you say that you mentioned that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is pushing Scientology, but I guess that plays a part in if you believe that he's the rightful successor or not.
No, I don't. No, I'm not. I don't believe that. No. The problem is this: Scientology is the topic. See, to try to sit there and say, let's not talk about Scientology when that is the topic of the show, that's trying to pull the bait and switch. So no, we dealt with the founder of Scientology giving the origins of Dianetics. That's what we just played. Now they're saying that they only study Dianetics and not Scientology. So we just dealt with the origin of Dianetics, which is why it's on the cover of the book. That was just proven. So no, we're not going to not talk about Scientology. We're going to talk about Scientology because the founder of Scientology just gave the statement that we just proved. Now, the second point is this. What you're also proving, again, I did not cut you.
No, bro. Let him finish.
So what we're also proving is that you are mixing truthhood with falsehood to be dealing with the Church of Scientology. Because what you're saying is that the white people only deal with the Scientology side and he's only talking to them, but then we only take a little bit over here and this deals with us over here. But then when I dealt with the source of both of them, coming from the source of both of them, now you want to try to separate them both. Emphatically, no. What I'm saying is this. You're not supposed to mix truth with falsehood from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It is supposed to be kept apart under all circumstances. What we have is the clip that can be played right now that gives the order not to mix truth with falsehood.
Like, what am I buying? What am I selling? What am I giving up? That's what. It's something at the root. That's why you don't want to bear me too much witness. I want to warn you all. See, many of you have listened to many teachers before you came to Muhammad. Some of you studied Rosicrucians. Some of you studied the occult sciences. Some of you studied metaphysics. Some of you studied this and that. Now you come We're hiding the truth. Why do you know? I'm not saying it is not truth in metaphysics. And I'm not saying it is not truth in some of the occult sciences. But what we demand today is that which is all truth. When God raises up a messenger for you, in that man he puts a pure fountain. For that man becomes a pure fountain of pure truth that you can drink from him freely. Yes, sir. Don't worry over whether it's impure. That's why I don't trust the old people. Yes, sir. Drop my heart. See, when you go back to those devils who taught you metaphysics, who taught you some of the occult sciences, go back to the Rosicrucian preaching, go back to some of these weird teachings of astrology, chart making in the light. Go back to all that mess, and at the root of it, you'll find a devil.
You good with that, Ish?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Don't mix up truthhood. Don't mix up truth with falsehood, nor hide the truth while you know it. So you're not supposed to be in the Church of Scientology and then try to sell the people that the same source, L. Ron Hubbard, has only a message for the white people here, but we pulling only this amount here. That's mixing truth with falsehood. And you're commanded not to do that by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Brother Kevin Ali, you can continue.
Yeah, let's let our brother Kevin Ali chime in, and then we bring it back to my brother RIZZA.
I'm not
Are you there, my brother Kevin?
Can you hear me?
Hold up. Are
Can
you there,
hear me?
Yes, we
can hear me.
There you go, brother. The floor is yours.
Yes. Going back earlier to what Brother RIZZA said, I'm not exactly a pioneer. I mean, I'm only 55 years old. So in 1975, I was I was 12 or 13 years old. So I didn't come into the teaching until after the departure of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And as far as what the Nation of Islam teaches, the teaching on devil is very clear. God raised one man from among us to be the messenger. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad himself said there in an interview with the Japanese reporters, there will be no successor. Once a man has brought you face to face with God, there is no need for anyone else. What would anyone else do? He said that God does not raise 2 or 3 messengers at a time for the nation. They are now calling Minister Louis Farrakhan the messenger of Allah. That is in direct contrast to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. So there is no successor to the position of messenger of Allah. Messenger Elijah Muhammad met face to face with God, Master Farad Muhammad, for 3 days, for 3 years and nearly a half a year, nearly 3.5 years, every day face to face with God. Louis Farrakhan has met with no God to be able to change these divine teachings. What a devil is not what Louis Farrakhan says it is now. If he wants to say that in his final call, he can say that. But he can't say that and pass it off as the teachings of the Nation of Islam. And as far as if you don't follow Louis Farrakhan, you're a hypocrite. That day in 1972, which was during the Theology of Time lecture series, there were only about 2,000 or 3,000 people there. And what the messenger said was, this is one of the strongest national preachers that I have in the bounds of North America. I say continue to follow our Minister Farrakhan. I'm not quoting it exactly, but where would that be different from any other minister? If any other minister of the Nation of Islam tells you to stop smoking, what, you're not going to stop smoking? If another minister of the Nation of Islam tells you to stop drinking, stop fornicating, stop being other than yourself, yes, you should obey that minister. But if you believe that that was a carte blanche order to follow someone into whatever they wanted to pull you into, no matter how contrary to the teachings it was, I'm sorry, brother, you're taking that day way out of context, because there was no mention of it in the Muhammad Speaks Next issue. There was no mention of it in the national radio program. There was no mention of what was said that day to only 2,000 or 3,000 people anywhere as some sort of order to follow Minister Farrakhan and whatever he wanted to do and whatever he's doing today. If he wants to do whatever he wants to do today, just don't call it the Nation of Islam, because it's definitely not from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Thank you, thank you, brother. And brother Tarka, did you have another question, or brother RIZZA, did you have a?
Let me
Well,
ask.
I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond to everything.
I'm going to pass to Brother RIZZA right now. But Brother RIZZA, do you consider, because I said that, do you consider the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan the successor of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
He is the national representative, and the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam is still, further and lastly, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that is what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan continues to say when people tell him that he's the leader or calls him the leader of the nation. And he says, no, I am the national representative of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam. So the successor, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, said it this way to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan: you may sit in my seat over the house in my absence, which let him know, yes, you may sit in my seat in my place. But he never said you are the leader. No, he is the national representative, not the leader of the Nation of Islam, and the eternal leader, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And brother, since we're playing clips, if you don't mind, there is a clip of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad stating to continue to follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If you would be so kind, dear brother, to look that up there. I think it's maybe a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, so it's not long at all, seeing how we're pulling out clips, because he said, continue. I want you to continue to hear Minister. He's the personal protege, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So the examples that Brother Kevin gave, I appreciate the examples, but those examples are conflicting with the teaching. The teaching teaches against smoking, drinking, etc. So that is just in the bylaws. That's in the teaching. That's what that is in the religious belief. So it has nothing to do with any particular minister saying do this and not do this. However, when it comes to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he was pulled out and specified as that minister to listen to continuously when the most honorable Elijah Muhammad departed. That is the man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was put in place by whom you both say you follow, which is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So, Brother Taharka, if you have that clip, if you have it, that would be great. Yes, sir. It says, continue to hear Minister Farrakhan. Yeah, yes, sir. If you don't, on YouTube, if you don't mind. And I'm going to respond really quick while you're looking that up, just really quick. The mixing up truth with falsehood, because brother, I don't get knocked off of my square. So thank you for the mixing the truth with falsehood. There has been no mixing up truth with falsehood as it pertains to Scientology, Nation of Islam. We are still, to this day, in our mosques teaching the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We do not have pictures of L. Ron Hubbard hanging up in our mosque. Someone said that before. That was insane. No, we do not have L. Ron Hubbard's teachings on our walls and being pushed. No, it is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And if either one of you or both of you have been to a Nation of Islam meeting recently, you would know that. And I'm not going to assume that you haven't been. However, from what you're saying, it simply demonstrates that
Are you saying that we made that statement?
Made which statement?
That there was some kind of hanging up of L. Ron Hubbard in
no, that's something that has been stated by people, is what I said. I said people have been saying that too. You didn't make that statement, but that goes along the line of what you're saying, is that the teachings that have been pushed on.
I have heard that false charge. I've heard that.
Right. Yes. So you're saying the mixing up the truth with falsehood. So the one thing that you're doing, you're making statements, but you're not proving your statements with the mixing up of truth. There is no mixing up truth with falsehood. We still push the same program, the 12-point program. We still push the final call. This is what we do.
You have to understand though, brother, since this is a conversation, L. Ron Hubbard pushes blatant falsehoods. And by him pushing blatant falsehoods.
Name one falsehood that L. Ron Hubbard pushes, brother. That's all. Just name one.
Okay, here you go. Right there.
Hold on. He sent me. Let me play his clip.
Absolutely. Play his clip first. Absolutely.
But let me ask my brother RIZZA this. Brother, as I was listening, you were saying that what Scientologists teach, that's what they teach, and we teach this. What part is accepted as truth for the Nation of Islam? The Scientology doctrine. What part is considered to be truth from the Nation of Islam? Because it's obviously spoken about. You know, I've heard it spoken from brothers in the nation. So what part is the truth?
Anything that does not conflict with our religion.
I mean, is it anything in particular, like Dianetics? I don't know. I haven't studied.
In my 16 years, brother, of studying the technology of Scientology and Dianetics, I have not found anything that conflicts with our religious belief. Now, personally, I haven't found any. Now, if you can tell me that you found something, I would love to see it. But once again, I've been studying this for nearly a decade, and I have not found anything, because if I did, then I absolutely would say, okay, well, that does not work for me, so I'm going to go ahead and about face and be up out of here. So that's just me personally, brother. I haven't found anything.
You definitely accept Dianetics, but there is some elements that you said is culturally for Europeans. I'm not with that.
No. What I'm saying, his statement that brother Ishmael was saying, he was putting forth dealing with Nation of Islam. We take pieces and we take pieces and study pieces. Everything is for the European. No. What I was saying was the Xenu thing that he tried to toss in there. That thing, I have not heard from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that teaching. And that is not something that I would once again have heard from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad or the honorable Minister Farrakhan. I appreciate you for bringing that up. However, if you are a Scientologist,
you're welcome,
and you subscribe to that, that's fine for you. But I know for me, what I follow are the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. So the 76 trillion years, that is mentioned in the book written by L. Ron Hubbard titled The History of Man. Also on the first page, please go get the book so you can see it yourself. And it talks about this is a cold-blooded history of man's
75 million years, 7 trillion year history.
76 trillion years, which also reflects and agrees with what we believe as far as the time, at least. And he talks about the caveman being the Caucasian and all of that. So he is very correct. Our number admitted that. So far, that agrees with our teaching, is what I'm saying. So it's all of it so far, what I studied, agrees with what the messenger has said and the honorable Minister Farrakhan as well.
Okay, so now I will pay now my brother Clip. Here it is. Tell me when to stop, bro.
Yes, sir.
You that you probably wouldn't have the patience to listen. Because I could stand here the way I feel right now. So I want you to remember the day I have one of my greatest teachers here. What did you see? We have with us today our great national preacher. The preacher who don't mind going into Harlem, New York, one of the most Moorish towns in our nation. It is our brother in Detroit and Chicago, New York. But I want you to remember, every week he's on the air, help me to reach those people that I can't get out of my house and go reach like he. I want you to take good attention to his preaching. His preaching is a bearing of witness to me in what God has given to me. I want you to pay good attention to his preaching. His preaching is a bearing of witness to me in what God has given to me. This is one of the strongest national preachers that I have in the mountains of North America. Everywhere you hear him, listen to him. Everywhere you see him, look at him. Everywhere he advises you, go. Everywhere where he abides, he escapes from the first. So we are thankful to Allah for this great helper of mine, Minister Farrakhan.
Okay, brother, that is it there. Thank you very much.
Are you good?
Yes, sir. That's all there. Thank you very much. So every word that the messenger stated there proves that he specified, clarified, and individually pointed out that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is who we should look at, who we should listen to, and whose advice we need to take heed to. From that clip of the messenger's words right there. And let me just go ahead and support the next claim. There is a culture difference. You have religious, then you have cultural. When it comes to the Caucasian, we are not at all interested in the Caucasian's culture. Now, when it comes to a belief system or ideology that we agree with, historical data and facts, we can agree on those things because we are supposed to speak the truth regardless to whom or what. So if it is the truth, then we absolutely must agree. So thus far, what I have seen in the technology has been the truth. And you stated that just because he's the devil, we should not have to listen to anything he says, and that anything that he creates is devilishment. Brother Kevin, it's who stated, not you, Brother Ishmael, Brother Kevin made that statement. So who was
No, I didn't make that exact statement.
Okay, the statement you made was leaning towards the devil creating a technology and L. Ron Hubbard being a devil. So can we reform the devil, et cetera, et cetera? But let me just say this. Dale Carnegie, who the most honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to study the proper handling of people, came from the white man, Dale Carnegie, prior to 75. So if you are saying about this technology and about this white man, are you now condemning the messenger who stated that we should follow the proper handling of people, which we still follow today, which came from Dale Carnegie, a Caucasian white man as well?
No, I'm not condemning the information. I'm not condemning the teaching. I'm condemning Dianetics. Dianetics says that it can produce a clear. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. What is a clear?
Yes, I know what a clear is. I know what the characteristics of a clear. But this is what you call technology. Okay, technology is based on science. So if you're going to say you produce something, then bring us the person you say that you can produce. In 1960, I can't remember the year, but Dianetics has been around since the 1950s. It didn't produce its first clear until well over 15 years later. And all the things that Hubbard said that this clear could do, it was shown in public that this person could not do these things. So you tell me all these characteristics of clear that are supposed to be produced by Dianetics, then bring me the person or persons who have achieved these things that Dianetics promised that it would do. This is what I'm saying. If something says it's technology and it fails to deliver on what it says it's supposed to be able to produce, then we simply can't call it technology and it can't be useful for us.
I agree, brother. So the question is, has it produced what it states it can produce? That is the question. And the answer is an absolute yes. So thank you for bringing that up. So I once again want to thank both of you for coming on here so that the people can hear this truth, because the people deserve to hear the truth.
We also thank you. And the point that I wish to make is this. L. Ron Hubbard.
I was responding to Brother Kevin, brother.
It's let him finish responding, please.
Yes, sir.
Just really quick. That point, number one, the reactive mind, as illustrated in Dianetics, is representative of the mind of the devil. It is the reactive mind. It is also referred to as the reactive mind bank. In that mind, that is the mind of Satan, the mind of the devil, etc.
Bring me the person who has achieved the state of clear so that we can peer review him, scientifically review him, that we can duplicate the results.
Absolutely.
I don't need definitions of clear. I want the person who has achieved clear.
No, sir. No, sorry. The people need the definition. I get it. You know it all. That's fine, brother. But the people don't know. So for the people, because this is who we say we want to have the truth. Yes. So the people is who I'm going to speak to. So if you know it, praise be to Allah. And we do have those people who will voluntarily speak with you so that you can learn about that and see the characteristics within them. No problem doing that. Number two, the definition of the reactive mind is dealing with that mind that reacts on stimulus response. That is the mind of the devil. It does not have logic. It is illogical. That is what that is. So in the Bible, it is talked about being the mind of Satan and Jesus casting out demons. In Dianetics, the form is called auditing, which is a spiritual counseling session or a process of listening, calculating, and computing. So through that process, you are casting out demons, as it states in the Bible, in the Holy Quran. You are removing demons, not memories, but you are helping people to go back and confront and to spot those things which have affected them in the past, which caused them to react illogically in the present. Someone being raped, someone being molested, beat up, etc., etc. All of these things are stuck in the recesses of the mind, which we know science proves that as well, not simply Dianetics. And those things, when brought back up, trigger a person in the present. So the only difference with Dianetics and everything else is that it brings it up and then it alleviates by removing all of the negative energy to it, and it makes a person able once again to face those things that they were not able to face before. Once again, no hypnotism, no psychiatry, none of those different evil practices whatsoever. That is the point. And by the way, I have had thousands of hours of auditing myself. So you are saying certain things, and one of the characteristics is an improved level of memory, which I did not have this memory as good as I have it now until after I received auditing to prove a part of your point, Brother Kevin. That's one of the characteristics which I am demonstrating to you right now. So I wanted to just give those certain things so that we can understand Dianetics.
No, you're not demonstrating it because you had no control for proof prior to the implementation. It wasn't peer reviewed. All we can go on is what you're saying. Yes, I remember better. That's not technology. That's just, hey, I feel good.
Second,
I feel better. I feel great. But it's not.
Can I get it? Can I share my example of what I wanted to prove my point? I never got a chance to prove my point at all.
Brother Ishmael, yes, sir. Do you just 1 second, if you don't mind, brother? It's just really quick. If you don't mind, brother, really fast.
Let him close.
Brother Kevin, you can't tell me, brother, you can't tell me what has helped me. Just like I can't tell you what is helping you. This has actually helped me to be a better Muslim, a better brother, a better servant of my people. My ability to remember certain things and certain memories and things have been able to come to me clearly, more clear, more fast, more without a cloudy sense of thinking.
If it helps you, then that's great, but we cannot call that technology.
Let him finish, bro.
Yes, sir. Just my experience. That's all I was saying. So per my experience, it has helped me. So that's all I'm saying, brother. So, and you can peer review all of my videos. You can peer review my display of intelligence. You can go down to the first video on Instagram and then scroll all the way up and you can see how my abilities have increased and you can see it for yourself. And the people have peer reviewed it, which is why the people continue to call me RIZZA with the facts, brother RIZZA Islam with facts, because I'm able to rattle them off. Remember, no drilling whatsoever. This is all off the cuff. I'm able, thankfully to Allah, who created all of this technology, not some white man, thankfully to Allah, once again, for this technology and for the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because that is the original technology. So, Brother Ishmael, go ahead, please.
Brother Ish, let me cut in real quick. Let me say this. My brother asked, why is it 2 against 1? This is not a war. This is not a battle. I'm going to tell you this. I commend Brother RIZZA for having this conversation. And he said, well, bring whoever want to ask the questions and I will answer them. You know,
yes,
he said that. So this is not no tag team WWE. This is getting to the information. And I commend this strong, powerful brother to respond in the way that he's responding. He's very clear with his position. Ish and Kevin, they're very clear with their position. And I think this is a good conversation. Let's not get into the devilish concept that this is some form of caveman fighting each other. No, we're getting to the information.
No, it's not a debate. It's a discussion. We're invited to have a discussion. Yeah.
I want the people in the chat to know that RIZZA said he's ready to answer whatever and whatever, and he's answering whatever and whatever. Whether it is what it is, and I commend the brother for doing that, brother. Ish, you know, this conversation is one that many don't want to have.
That's correct.
That brother he deserves. If we say in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we give honor where honor is due, and that brother deserves honor for that. Even if one may disagree with him, and I commend you brothers for posing the tough questions and for him to try to answer the tough questions and doing a good job at it. With that, the floor is yours, brother.
Yes, sir. The brother asked me He said, Brother Ishmael, can you produce where L. Ron Hubbard has taught something false? That was the challenge that he put out to me.
No, sir.
I was about to post up.
That's not what I said.
I said that L. Ron Hubbard teaches falsehood, and you said, please show me an example where L. Ron Hubbard teaches falsehood.
I said, please present something in all of my studies. I said that goes against what we believe.
Okay.
What we believe.
So the example is going to be produced of L. Ron Hubbard teaching a blatant falsehood. The clip is posted up in the back because L. Ron Hubbard, we're talking about it being a clear. Number one, hold on before you play that clip. But yes, sir. L. Ron Hubbard was not even clear himself. He couldn't even get himself off of smoking cigarettes, no less than 4, 5, 6 packs a day. So in other words, he could not even clean up his own self, yet he's supposed to be producing clear people when he couldn't even produce it within himself. So L. Ron Hubbard taught that if you stop smoking cigarettes, you will get cancer. He says that smoking cigarettes is something you're supposed to do. So if you stop smoking cigarettes, you will then get cancer by stopping. So my point is this, they even reproduce an office of L. Ron Hubbard when they build these ideal orgs. They build, because they teach another falsehood of reincarnation or coming back again after death, something that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught against. He did not teach about any afterlife of us coming back after we leave this body, but Scientology does teach that. So my point is this, play the clip, please, of L. Ron Hubbard saying that if you stop smoking cigarettes, you will get cancer. And then we're going to post up the cancer statistics. Thank you.
Having an awfully good time fighting the cigarette. I can't do anything else, so we fight cigarettes. Well, there's societies in England that are having an awfully good time fighting the cigarette. I can't do anything else, so they fight cigarettes. And they say cancer. You've been hearing something of this, I'm sure. Yeah, not smoking enough will cause lung cancer. Not smoking enough will cause lung cancer. If anybody is doing a cancerous activity in the way.
That's good. That's good for the clip right there, brother. So again, the clip is available. It says not smoking enough causes lung cancer. Anybody can pull it up to see the entire clip. He repeated it 3 times. Not smoking enough causes cancer. Now on the back chat, I have the statistics of the cancer, and let's view that and let's see what it says. The statistics are coming from www.cancer.org by the American Cancer Society. Smoking causes almost half of the deaths from 12 cancer types. Almost half of the deaths, 48%, from 12 different types of cancer combined and attributable cigarette smoking, according to a study by researchers from the American Cancer Society and colleagues. Cancer types known to be caused by smoking, including cancer of the liver, the colon, the rectum, the lung, the oral cavity, the throat, the esophagus, the larynx, the voice box, the stomach, the pancreas, the bladder, the kidney, and the cervix, and acute myeloid leukemia. This is what smoking does. So L. Ron Hubbard was a quack. He was a pseudoscientist. And he pushed falsehood. So anyone attempting to try and push that false ideology on our people, it needs to be addressed because our people should be encouraged to embrace the truth and not the falsehood. Thank you.
With that, let our brother Kevin, if he want to chime in, then we'll yield the floor to our brother RIZZA. Kevin, do you have anything you want to add?
I had no comment on that particular point. I'll listen to our brother RIZZA.
Okay. All right, RIZZA, the floor is yours, brother.
Yes, sir. Brother Ishmael, thank you once again for proving how you are not proving that we are pushing Scientology onto the people once again. Number 2, nowhere in the teaching does it state what you have just played a clip of. And we know what clips do on the internet, and particularly the same problem that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan is facing today are clips of him being pieced, parted, and added and doctored. So if you continue to play clips, we can make anyone sound like anything. We can make you sound like you just said that you're a 12-year-old white girl from Kansas, if we want to do that. So, brother, you're not giving any hard evidence whatsoever. So I appreciate that. Now, on the next point, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad made many statements about things that people did not believe, just to make this statement in response to what you just said. So one, we know because it has been proven by science that yes, cancer is caused by the smoking of cigarettes. Absolutely, we know that. But once again, nowhere in the teachings of Scientology, nor in the teachings of Dianetics, that what you said, L. Ron Hubbard just stated, okay, I have not seen it being taught in the church, once again, of Scientology, nor have I seen it being taught in the materials of Dianetics. You continue the premises being pushed on the people. Scientology, Dianetics. Okay, Scientology and Dianetics, I have not witnessed what you have just said, L. Ron Hubbard stated, nowhere in the materials, once again. And the only thing that can be pushed on the people are the materials, the teachings, the ideology, not some doctored clip with a blatant scientific something that is completely backwards according to science. Okay, if he smokes cigarettes, good. We don't follow L. Ron Hubbard's example. We follow the technology that agrees with our religious belief and our ideology because we had it first. So it is simply the same thing that came from us as the original people to begin with. You are not proving your statement. Let me go back to the other thing that you mentioned, which is perfect. He wasn't
the lying chain smoker is the one who said it came from original people. It
Brother,
doesn't.
people stated that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was lying when he's talked about the mother wheel. People said that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was lying when he talked about the people on Mars until they found out it was true. People talked about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was lying when he talked about the deportation of the moon until they went up there and found dust from dynamite on the moon. People said that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was lying about many things until they finally found the proof, which was years later to validate what he stated. So what I'm
and
not...
When will we find the proof that L. Ron Hubbard was validated? When will we find that?
If you want to go there, what is caused when it comes to the mind and body? You are dealing with psychosomatic illness, and science proves that the majority of illnesses within the body are caused by the mind, psychosomatic. If you want to technically go there, but I'm not, once again, going to battle with a blatant truth, which is, of course, smoking cigarettes after a certain period of time will cause cancer. Absolutely. But
so by you doing that, brother, what you're admitting is that it's truth mixed with falsehood when you say that.
Sir, there is no truth mixed with falsehood. Once again, and what I would not allow is for either one of you to try and make the people believe what you just said to be true, actual fact, or the teachings or ideology of the Nation of Islam, nor the technology of Scientology, because thus far you still have not proven that it is a part of the ideology nor the teaching. So I'm focusing on the teaching, the ideology.
Well, I'll just continue to break the facts then. I have another fact for you.
The only person who has brought solid facts here has been Brother RIZZA Islam. I have cited the books, the materials, all of this, and you have brought up clips which can absolutely be doctored, which you know can be proven. They have doctored clips. They have doctored clips from the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. They have doctored clips from me on the internet. So, brother, a clip on the internet is not solid evidence. I do apologize if you think that is, but in today's society with the show and prove generation, we don't operate on simple things that can be edited and then brought up to the people as though that is truth, when that absolutely is mixing truth with falsehood. So last point that you made, Brother Ishmael, I'm still on your points. Perfection. You said L. Ron Hubbard himself was not perfect. Good.
I didn't say he was perfect. I never said that. I know that he's not perfect.
You said he was not clear himself. One, you said he wasn't a clear himself, and he wasn't perfect himself. Very true. Was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad perfect? Is there any perfect Muslim? No, we are striving. Even in our prayer, we say that we are striving to be Muslim. No one of us is perfect, neither you nor myself. So if L. Ron Hubbard wasn't perfect, guess what? Was Prophet Noble Drew Ali, may Allah be pleased, was he perfect? Was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad perfect? None of them were perfect.
Yes.
They were striving. They were not perfect. They were striving with what they had. The teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is perfect, but the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as a man himself was not perfect. And the Honorable Minister Farrakhan has stated that himself. He was not perfect, but his teachings that he was given by God, Master Farad Muhammad, were and is today in modern time indeed perfect. So if we follow the teaching,
when L. Ron Hubbard passed away, he was on the run, living on a ship with dirty fingernails, long hair, chain smoking cigarettes.
You're arguing about the premise is the teaching. So
the
where
source of the Scientology is rooted in the falsehood. So again, as we continue to present the facts, let's see if this audio is doctored, where L. Ron Hubbard is promoting the abortion of babies. How about we play the clip right now that has L. Ron Hubbard reporting that he can teach with the technology of Dianetics how to abort babies from women. How about we play that clip right now?
And I like to add, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is perfect in the Moorish American concept. Perfect.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the lamb without spot or blemish. So teaches God himself.
I thought I just had to add that. Anyway, here you go. I'm playing it now.
You say, well, yes,
tell me when to stop.
Yes, sir.
The auditors who have discovered this to date have asked you not to mention it. But theta clearing provides pregnancy termination at will. Mustn't mention this because God help us all, there goes the moral code. Penicillin took out the disease level. And now, girl can take a couple of beams of energy, just move out back of her head and take a couple of beams of energy and terminate a pregnancy. I did nothing wild or forceful or upsetting or anything like that. Just make sure that the tube opens. It's very simple. There are muscles and so forth which contract and expand at a certain period of every month and that sort of thing. So as much as 3 months advanced and that sort of thing have been terminated this way. And how long? 24 hours. With what kind of a setup? None. What kind of repercussions? None. And that's fascinating. So you've got something like birth control sitting right there in theta clearing. A lot of experimentation could be done with something like this.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. So he said, so as you can hear, he's talking about pregnancy termination is what he said. He said birth control. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught against birth control. But here it is, L. Ron Hubbard's teaching them how to pregnancy termination takes place. So what I have on the back chat is I have the statistics of African-American abortions of over 19 million of us going through the abortion. Why would a church be contributing to continuing the abortion of the babies? The second page on there, it states, on the third page, disproportionately, the leading consumer of the abortionist services is the African-American female. And we're talking about 19 million people being killed, being perpetuated by a church and by a founder of a church, pushing a technology of a church. So if they are promoting abortion and birth control and death, that is what we are supposed to be going against. We are supposed to be the promotion of life, not pushing a technology that promotes death. Thank you.
Yes, sir. May I respond, or Brother Kevin, you have something on that, my brother?
Not on that exact point, sir. I'll defer and let you go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Brother RIZZA,
yes, sir.
Question, you can ask it during it or after. What led the minister or whomever introduced the Church of Scientology to the Nation of Islam? What led? How did that come about? I think that's a good question.
Well, I will go into that at a certain point, but let me respond so that the people don't get lost, if you don't mind, brother.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. So the point that you just brought up, Brother Ishmael, and once again, I thank you for doing this same old, once again, bait and switch, which is an old tactic of debate, but I absolutely have gained the wisdom, thankfully, to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of how to remain on point. There is no Scientology org that pushes nor promotes abortion. In 16 years, and I have been to multiple orgs. If you go to a Church of Scientology org, unless you're scared of white folks, if you're just scared of white folks, then brother, you can't call yourself a follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because we are God's children of the Most High God, and we can go anywhere across this planet, 196,940,000 square miles of it. So if you go there, then you can definitely look and see and ask. Please ask them, do you promote abortion? Do you promote this? Because I have never heard that from anyone at the church, and I have never in any of the books read any such thing about them promoting it. I have never, in going in session or receiving auditing, ever was introduced with that information, put that information on me, talk to about that information, nothing whatsoever about abortions. And the 19 million of us who were aborted, you are trying to equate that and connect that with the Church of Scientology, when that is with Planned Parenthood under Margaret Sanger, who was a eugenicist and an honorary Klanswoman. And the 19 million of us aborted were aborted willingly by us, the sisters in the community, because of self-hatred. And because of them having,
ask you the question,
because of them not having, brother, 1 second, and because of them having no knowledge of self, not because of Scientology, not because of us pushing Scientology on the people, not because of the Nation of Islam. So your point again, brother, is once again you are mixing truth to falsehood, because they have never promoted that. That I have, brother, never. So you have to prove that. Go to an org and please provide a clip of them, of you being in an organization in one of the Scientology locations. Provide a clip where you went in and you asked these questions, or you have a staff member telling you, or one of the books, or pamphlet, or one of the displays, anything in the teaching.
All right. So the two questions are this, Brother RIZZA. I want to answer your question. All right. So are you ignoring that L. Ron Hubbard just said that? Are you ignoring that the clip just showed that he was teaching how to abort children and how to do the birth control using the Dianetics? Are you ignoring that audio?
No, brother, he was explaining how that could be used in a negative way. He was explaining that how it could be used in a negative way.
Now, with that stated,
one second, I'm validating what you think is going to help you, but it's only going to serve against you again.
Well, I'm going to prove my point. I'm going to prove my point,
anything.
Let me prove my point.
Let me continue to
prove my point.
Let me continue.
But I'm not being allowed to prove my point. He keeps cutting me off.
You are going to be allowed to prove your point, but he was making a statement, and
I was responding.
But he was responding. But you're going to get the floor right back, brother. Just let him finish.
Let me continue to prove your point by stating, brother, if you take the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and you insert something negative, or you do it in a misconstrued, devilish manner, you could cause a lot of negative things. The government, just so you know, took Dianetics, dissected it, looked at every which way L. Ron Hubbard was able to help the people, and they reverse engineered. This is what a devil does. And they were able to do certain things with it. The government, once again, just like the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, if I misuse these teachings, if I misuse them and use them in an evil manner, just like the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple, just like the teachings of the Bible, if I misuse this in a devilish, evil, wicked manner, then I am no longer a person who professes that I love these teachings or that I'm a part of these, but I am now a devil. If I use anything to do something negative, it does not mean that the teaching itself is negative. It means that I have now become a devil by misusing the teaching. That is what that is. But Dianetics itself, I've read the entire book from cover to cover, and there are nothing, no pieces, no sentences, no words saying that this is how you can use it if you want to get an abortion. This is what you do. Brother, I implore you to read the book. I implore you to read it from cover to cover online live, because your statement, once again, is not proven, and you have never read the book, have you? Please tell me you have.
I've read the book very thoroughly, brother. In fact, I read it online. I have multiple books, and people have seen me over the years produce that. So my points are this. I have the example of Scientology forcing the abortions. The clip is right there to be pulled up for us to simply check the facts for itself. Scientology
I didn't see that clip.
forced abortion.
Forcing abortion.
I know. The Scientology forced abortion in 2018, and it states a former Church of Scientology member says it forced her to have an abortion. And it says Scientology asked a federal court.
Scientology member, or did you say Nation of Islam member?
No. We're talking about the Church of Scientology pushing abortion. We're talking about L. Ron Hubbard forcing abortion.
We are not members of the Church of Scientology. Yes, please show and prove, brother. Please.
Church of Scientology forcing abortion on the members. And let's just see what it says so that we can deal with the facts. Because you said, go to an org or show me an org or an organization of the Church of Scientology that forces abortion. And that's exactly what I'm doing. It states Scientologists asked the federal court last month to dismiss a lawsuit by a woman who claims they forced her to abort her unborn baby. And it says that Leah DiGrazio case was drawn international attention because her accusation of the Church of Scientology, DiGrazio and the religious group, have been an ongoing legal battle for years, and the church asked the federal court to dismiss the entire case in December. She ended up winning her court case. So in other words, the Church of Scientology is indeed guilty of forcing abortion on the Sea Org members. And the Sea Org members, they work approximately 5 to 6 days a week, only making $50 a week. If you're only making $50 a week and you're working a minimum of 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, that is a slave labor. If you are working slave labor and only paying these people $50 a week and then working full time, that is indeed a slave maker of the poor. And we are not supposed to be participating in that type of behavior.
Okay, may I respond? Or Brother Kevin, do you have something before I respond to that, brother?
I do have something to respond to. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear.
Yes. According to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the solution to the so-called Negroes' problem in America, black people in America's problem, the solution to it is divine. Brother Ishmael keeps giving you time after time the evil and wicked behavior of the founder of Scientology Dianetics, L. Ron Hubbard. But you keep saying it doesn't teach that in the books. We're not saying that it teaches that in the books. You cannot separate the founder from the teacher from the teaching. You cannot do it. These people, it is an evil scourge on our planet, amongst our people. Our people, the black people, are poor sheep, easily led in the wrong direction, hard to lead in the right direction. The Dianetic Scientology people, they worship L. Ron Hubbard like a god. And I read the book Scientology in 1982 before I ran across the Messenger's teachings. They worship him like a god. They talk of him like he's not dead, i.e. reincarnation. Now we're sending our poor, pitiful, broken people, broken from over 400 years of the chattel slavery and the lash of the devil. And we're sending them over there with people who worship this evil person who said these things. These aren't clips that are doctored together. He said these things, whether it's in the books or not. And here's the example of what can happen. A beautiful, great, strong, powerful brother by the name of Dr. Alim, within several years of him getting involved with Scientology. This is a medical doctor. He was a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in Temple Number 5 in Cincinnati under Minister David Bacha, one of the most rational and pragmatic brothers that you will ever meet. Anybody who has ever met him knows I'm telling the truth of him. And within several years, now I have no direct proof that Scientology caused this in him, but I do know that within several years of him getting involved with these people at the org where he lived, if you go look at brother Dr. Alim today, the great strong Muslim doctor, he's running around calling himself Mookie with twisty curls on his head, with wearing paper plates on his head. He has gone completely insane. You are allowing people with a 40-hour course to dig around in your mind, holding some electrodes that you basically buy from Radio Shack, that all they do is measure the galvanic skin response. They do not measure no engrams floating around in your brain. They have run, it costs over $100,000 to go clear for white folks. That gravy train for the Scientology orgs has dried up. And now, like every other group that wants to build themselves up, we are called the dry bones for a reason, because everyone else has picked our bones clean. And now Louis Farrakhan is trying to deliver the poor black man of America to these evil, wicked people at the Scientology orgs to further pick our bones clean. So when the divine solution comes in the form of supreme wisdom, it stands alone. It is in no need of any helper application. And if it was so great for us, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad knew of it, because L. Ron Hubbard was around in the 50s and the messenger didn't depart until 1975. So he didn't give it to us. And he said, there is nothing about the salvation of my people. that I have not taught you and God has not given to me. Thank you for listening.
And let's also just clarify that all Scientology auditors are ordained ministers, not some. They try to push a falsehood that they're just the Nation of Islam and they're not ordained ministers of the Church of Scientology. Right now, you can pull up on the clip on the back chat. It states clearly all Scientology auditors are ordained ministers of the Church of Scientology. So we can go directly to the site and read it for ourselves, and let's simply deal with the facts. Because when that falsehood is being pushed that they only deal with Dianetics and not Scientology, the facts from the Scientology website itself, it states 100% very clear, no pun intended. It says, like many other religions, the Church of Scientology has ministers who minister Scientology religious services to its church parishioners. One becomes a Scientology minister by participating in and graduating a prescribed training curriculum. All Scientology auditors are required to become ordained ministers. Checkmate.
Now may I respond, Mr. Checkmate?
So yes, let's have Brother RIZZA respond. And I know that this can get heated, but we up on the last 30 minutes. So
yes, sir.
For the last 30 minutes, and I just want, because it's my brother Kevin Ali and my brother Ishmael, it may seem like RIZZA is getting more time, but he's addressing more. So with all due respect, let's let him represent and stand on what he teaches. With that, brother, the floor is yours. And everybody, thumbs up. I think this was a very good dialogue. Again, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate my brother Ben X for helping to facilitate this by hooking us up and getting this going. Brother, I definitely, like I said, I salute you, brother. I salute you. With that being said, brother, the floor is yours. Everybody, thumbs up. Y'all have to like this, man. Y'all got to take your hat and your fans and everything off with brother RIZZA. That brother stands strong. But with that, brother RIZZA, the floor is yours, brother.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. So let us go back to each point that they spoke of. So number one, let us refer back to Dale Carnegie, whom the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad endorsed personally, saying that we are to study, use, and implement the proper handling of people from Dale Carnegie, a white man. So you are stating and said that you cannot separate, Brother Kevin, you stated you cannot separate the teaching from the teacher. So to that point, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad cited a white man, Dale Carnegie, as to his teaching the proper handling of people for us to study. So did he endorse a devil, or did he endorse the teaching that is beneficial? That demonstrates you can separate the teaching from the teacher, because the proper handling of people, or handling people properly, is something that was existing long before the Caucasian ever came into existence. That's that point. Next point. You may tell a tree, or can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. If L. Ron Hubbard is so evil, please explain to me, why have I personally had so much benefit from this technology? Why many people that I personally know who have used the technology have become better whatever they are. Their religion is their religion, but this technology is not their religion. Let us make that very clear. The technology is not their religion. It is not my religion. My religion is Islam. If I am drinking vitamins, or say if I am fixing my car, it does not make me an auto mechanic. I am using the technology that auto mechanics use to fix my car. I am not that, because that's not what I study and live as a life profession in my life. No, but I'm using that to improve my situation and my circumstance. That's that point. Next point. You stated that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Kevin, is delivering us, the original people, to these devils, people who are playing with our minds. 40 hours. Brother, there is so much more to Dianetics than the 40-hour training, than the Dianetics seminar, than the Hubbard Dianetics auditor. And on the Scientology website, you referred, Brother Ishmael, to being a Scientology auditor. Word for word. Scientology auditor, which should let you know the compound word meaning that a minister is not only a Scientology minister when it comes to Dianetics, because there is a such thing as a Dianetic auditor, which is not a Scientology auditor. And that is also proven not only on the website. Go to the Dianetics website, go to the book Dianetics, go to Dianetics 55, another book, go to all of the basic books that they call it, and you will see that there is a difference between a Scientology auditor and a Dianetic auditor. Next point, because I'm just going to continue to disprove all of these lies that are being given, because the people need to hear this. When you brought up, Brother Kevin, the e-meter or electropsychometer, where the person is holding the cans, the metal cans, which I have been in session on the e-meter multiple times. You stated that there are not demons or engrams in the person's brain. No, there's not. It is in the mind, which is not the brain. The mind is not physical. The mind is the collection of pictures with all of the emotion, all of the somatics, all of the sensations, all of the trauma. That's in the mind. Dianetics addresses the mind or the soul, not the brain. So I just want to make that very clear, that meter.
I said the e-meter can't measure an engram. All it measures is the galvanic skin response.
Yes, you stated that, but you also stated in the brain. And I was just correcting you that it's not the brain that it addresses, it is the mind, which is not what, that's the difference. I just want to clarify, because the people are listening right now. So the people need to hear the truth. And for me, being a brother, and let me just ask this question, if you don't mind, Kevin or Brother Ishmael, really quick, and I'm still responding. Have you ever stepped foot into a Scientology organization or Scientology church?
Yes, I have.
Beautiful.
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. And Brother Ishmael, when you went there, have you taken any of the courses?
I did a test, the personality testing that they gave, and I also have the research. I have the books. I have the Dianetic books. I have the handbooks. I have the history of man books. I have the history of it. Absolutely.
Okay, beautiful. And in all of those books,
and it's 100% false, which is why I'm speaking from a valid point of view. And when you take the auditor's code, if you study the auditor's code, again, which is posted up right now for anyone to read, it states number 15, I promise not to mix the process of Scientology with other practices except when the pre-clear is physically ill or only medical means will serve. So again, you're not to mix the Scientology. So you can't be a part-time Dianeticist and then a part-time Scientologist. It doesn't mix. It's full-time, and that's by command of L. Ron Hubbard himself. So no, you can't take it as part-time and try to sell it to the people that way, because L. Ron Hubbard himself said that you can't do it that way. There's no half-stepping in it.
Good. So thank you again for bringing up another point. I only asked you that question if you ever been inside of the org and if you took courses, because I'm still, like I said, in the middle of responding, but I just want to make sure before I went on to the next point, if you had stepped foot in and did anything. The test that you took, which was the Oxford Capacity Analysis Test, that is 200 questions, that came from Oxford University. That didn't come from Scientology or Ron Hubbard. That came from Oxford University. That's number one. And that's
just the name of it. That's not the source.
No, sir. That's not just the name. That's exactly what it is. And it's being used in multiple businesses, not just the Church of Scientology. That has been verified as well. Multiple businesses use that to test and to look at the personality of a person. And if you look at it, it has panned out to be true. I know it panned out to be true for me, for what I recognize and what I have improved on over time from doing specific courses, and of course prayer and practicing my teachings. I have watched my own improvement and many others improvement as well. I just want to make that point as well.
Brother, the first clear is still alive right now, Brother RIZZA. Brother RIZZA, the first clear.
I'm still responding, and I'm still disproving the things that you have stated, and I have the other point that you gave me as well when you were saying what you were saying. So the last point here, when he stated that we are being delivered back to these devils and we are being taught all of this devilishment, the only thing that I am going to look at is what are the results of those who have been studying the technology of Scientology, Dianetics, biology, history, Islam, Christianity. What are the results? Because all I have seen,
I can tell you the results. The results are that.
No, brother. I'm asking the question.
You asked me the question. I'm here to answer your question.
No, brother. No, I'm in the middle. No, brother. I'm talking. I'm not. No, sorry. It wasn't a literal question to you. I'm asking the question and I'm answering the question so that the people can hear from someone who has 16 years of experience in this, which you do not have. So I'm giving the answers because I'm brought on for the actual facts and to represent my teacher, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. So the answer to the question that I have presented is all of the people that I personally know, which have been hundreds of people, have improved in their personal lives after having used this technology along with their own technology. Now, you referenced the code of a Scientologist, the auditor's code, and not mixing up anything unless it is a physical ailment, etc., etc. You can bring those things up, but the courses, these are for people who are not auditors. You mentioned the auditor's code. Okay, so now you're talking about auditors. The people are not auditors. Number one, the word auditor means one who listens, or two, one who computes. So according to the definition of the word, you can be an auditor right now. You're listening, you're computing and analyzing. The definition of the word minister is one who heals another. So if you want to go there, brother, then let's go straight to the definitions of the word. Anyone who helps to heal another person is a minister. Anyone who listens and computes and analyzes what another is saying is an auditor. The process of auditing, and this is in the book, this is in the books itself, the process of auditing is defined as a process of listening and computing. It is not a counselor. It is not a psychiatrist, psychologist, hypnotist. It is none of that. It is simply one who helps you to guide you through your trauma. So you are actually self-healing, which in the terms of the Nation of Islam or in Islam, that is when we pray to Allah for help, pray to Allah to be whole. We are self-healing, which the process of auditing reinforces and validates the same belief that we have in the teachings that we have, which is we are God's children of the Most High God. And I believe that was the last point. Oh no, sir. One moment. The last thing, dealing with the abortions, because I don't want that to go over anyone's head, and I don't want anyone to believe that that is true. The person who you cited, I'm almost positive, is a Caucasian woman, and you specified in the Sea Org. What is the Sea Org? The Sea Org is the military organization within the Church of Scientology, which protects their teaching and which is their specific military apparatus. That is what they have. They have captains, lieutenants. They have all that in their religious belief. They sign a 1 billion year contract for white people or anyone who chooses to go and do that. The Sea Org is not the teachings of Scientology. It is the Sea Org. Just like a Muslim is not an FOI. And FOI and MGT are not just Muslims. We are the military arm of the Nation of Islam in North America. We are not simply Muslims. You see the difference? That is, there are many specific differences here, brother, that you have not specified because you are going off of partial data and a lot of lies. So that's the only point I wanted to be very clear on. And the abortion is not being pushed in the teaching, and it is not being pushed on the people, and it is not being pushed by the Nation of Islam. And there are no books, none of the teaching by L. Ron Hubbard that I have seen in almost 20 years that push anything about abortion or aborting people. So the case you just brought up is a white person who had a problem with some white folks. So you're going to tell me you're going to believe white folks right now about the nation, brother?
Can I finally answer? Can I finally answer now?
Please do, because you're contradicting.
All right, good. Okay, so my point is this. You're trying to say that the Sea Org is separate from Scientology. That's like the equivalent of somebody trying to sell you the lie that the choir member is not a member of the church. I said that they work full-time for the Church of Scientology because they do. They are paid by the Church of Scientology. They are paid this wage of $50 a week, working 6 days a week for a minimum of 10 hours a day. Beyond slave labor, less than $1 an hour. So my point is this.
Folks you're talking about, brother, who choose to go into that life. This is what they choose to do.
This isn't just limited to white people, because we have Mimi Foss, her mother worked for them, and she's black. And Mimi Foss was thrown to the street at the age of 13 years old. This sister was thrown out on the street by her mother because her mother said she wanted to work for Scientology and not even be a mother to her 13-year-old child. So she went out and she put herself through school, and she does the acting and stuff now. But that's what Scientology does. It breaks up the family, that black family, while the sister threw the 13-year-old out on the street. Do you deny that history also?
Are you now, just so I know what you're talking about, the person who was thrown out on the street was a Sea Org member, or the person who threw the person out was a Sea Org member? Just so I understand what you're saying first.
Mimi Faust's mother worked for the Sea Org. The sister worked for the Sea Org and threw her 13-year-old daughter out on the street. And at 13, she had to fend for herself. So do you deny that history or not?
No,
because
brother,
I got the facts right here. In fact, I'll make sure I post up the facts right now. How about that?
So please, brother,
and furthermore, we have the first clear identified right now. So that's what's posted on the back link right now. It states that finally, it's just happened this week. Finally, L. Ron Hubbard's first clear, Sonia Biaggi, found 68 years. After 68 years, Sonia Biaggi was put up in front of the whole world as being the first clear to America. L. Ron Hubbard had a whole sold out arena right there in Los Angeles, and bringing out this lady saying that she's going to be the clear that's going to answer everybody's question. She had absolutely perfect memory. She could do all this, and she was the first clear. After they tested her live in front of the audience, she failed the test. In fact, they even asked her while L. Ron Hubbard was turned around, what's the color of his tie? And she couldn't even say the color, the tie that he had on. And so my point is this. If you couldn't even identify the color of the man's tie, you're supposed to be the first clear, and she's still alive today, that is 100% proof that that is rooted in falsehood. So we're going to post the Mimi Faust information also so that the people can get that information.
Okay, please post that. And while you're posting that, brother, number one, you have gone from saying that the Nation of Islam and Minister Farrakhan are pushing Scientology and Dianetics to now defending white people and defending the Sea Org and defending a black woman who chose to be a part of the Sea Org, which is a personal decision of a person. You have not proved anything. Literally, you have only proven that you do not know what you're talking about and that you are pushing and mixing truth with falsehood. So Farrakhan does not push to join the Sea Org, brother. You are talking about another group that is inside of the Church of Scientology's military apparatus, the same as the FOI and MGT are the military arm of the Nation of Islam, but the Muslim world are not MGT.
No, it's not the same. Every member of the Nation of Islam, male and female, are FOI and MGT under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't know how it is in the final.
That's absolutely correct. And I want to post up the Mimi Faust is posted up right now for anybody to see it. It states that Mimi was just 9 years old when her mother joined the Scientology Sea organization. After being uprooted from her life in Atlanta to attend school with the fellow Scientologist students in Los Angeles, Mimi claims she was bullied by other children who hurled racial slurs at her. And at the age of 13, church members tried pressuring Mimi to sign the billion-year Sea Org contract. And when she refused, the church's members forced her onto the streets while her mother stayed behind. They didn't give her 1 red cent, not even $1.50 to take the bus or a blanket, said in one clip. My mother did not utter one word. She watched me walk out that building and said nothing. We're talking about the big blue building in Los Angeles. That's the building that threw a 13-year-old black child out on the street so that the mother can go and do that Scientology and get her Dianetic fix. That's the results of Scientology.
Okay, 1 second, brother. You just stated one person, one case of someone choosing to be a part of the Sea Org, which is not what the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches, which is not what the Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
You asked me to find an example and I produced it, brother. Now, do you bear witness that that fact was presented, yes or no?
Well, let me respond, because thus far you have not given one argument, and I am embarrassed right now for you to be a follower, you say, of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but you are not able to be right and exact, and you are not giving actual facts. So, brother, you got to go back to your training. So let me go back and handle this. The Sea Org is not the Nation of Islam. The Sea Org is the military arm, meaning a part of the military arm of the Church of Scientology, and the FOI and MGT are in the Nation of Islam. But what I was stating for Brother Kevin was that the Muslim world, meaning the Sunni, the Shia, the Hanafi, the Hanbali, the Sufis, they are not MGT and FOI. They do not follow General Orders 1 through 12. They do not go according to the sole purpose, which is going after the 40 to 50 million dead in North America. They are not FOI and MGT. That's what I was separating. The religion of Islam is the religion. However, the Nation of Islam is the true and living teachings of Islam. And also we have a military system, a part of what we teach, set up by Master Farad Muhammad and pushed by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and now pushed still by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So if I decided to step out of the ranks and then go join a group like the Sea Org, which is like if I join the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, that's a personal decision. But the Scientology teachings, the Dianetic teachings, do not push nor encourage you or me to go and join the Sea Org. That is a personal decision. It is a 1 billion year contract on legal paper with 2 gold seahorses on it. And the building that you mentioned the sister getting tossed out of is LA Org, a Class 5 org, West US on LRH Way and Fountain Avenue. You are not giving points, brother. You are deflecting, and you have proven nothing whatsoever that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan has sold out, which he did not. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan and Nation of Islam are pushing Scientology onto the people, which we are not. You have not proven any of this. So I need you to give, brother. I think we have 10 minutes left. Thus far, we still are pushing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Every day, all day, 24/7, 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 46 seconds of the day. That is what we teach. That is what we push. I wear the sun, moon, and star on my neck. That is what I believe. Now,
brother,
you can
the point that I'm making is
brother,
the point I'm making is this.
Brother,
the point I'm making is
you
this:
have
it's
no
financing
point.
death
You're
to the
defending white
people,
now.
and you
You're defending
joined
the
up.
Sea Org and
You joined up
Scientology.
with the
I'm defending
group
Farrakhan,
that
brother.
is financing
You're
death to the people.
the Sea Org. So what? You're now so we now need to listen to these devils that you call devils. So white folk now we need to listen to white people and Scientology about the Nation of Islam. No, sir. I am a follower of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what I believe. That's what I push. So you're not going to get me to agree with you stating that white people and the Sea Org is what we are pushing when we are not. And you're telling me white people, they only get paid $50 a week. Brother, you're showing so much sympathy to them when they decided to choose that life. We are going after the dead, our people, brother. That is what we have signed up
now
for,
the sister
brother.
being thrown out in the street is just trash now, right? The sister
No,
that was
sir,
13
no.
raised.
That is
So
our
in other words,
no,
my point is this:
my
point, the mentality that is running rampant through the Church of Scientology ferments over to how they treat the Nation of Islam. Example: the clip. I'll be happy to explain. The clip is being right there in the back for anybody for Taka to pull up. It is Izzy Chait saying that the black people, that the Nation of Islam are in the Church of Scientology. And in fact, he says it's so filthy. It's remarkable that it's even coming from somebody who says that it's a church. So how about we simply play the clip, and it's a little short 3-part clip, and let's see how the Church of Scientology treats the black Muslims, how they think about the black Muslims. Let's see what they have to say about it, brother. Not what I say or you say.
Everything. Oh, come on. So you never let me finish my comment.
Don't talk to me about Schwartz's.
You never let me finish.
If you want to talk about black people, a Nation of Islam, or Inglewood, I'm the man to talk to and ask me the question. You want to know what's happening with Inglewood? I'll tell you.
I didn't ask you that.
Inglewood was going to be. Hey,
go to the 3 Class 5 orgs.
Don't fucking talk to me about Inglewood. I started Inglewood.
And how many auditors do you have in training right now?
I don't know, but there was never any fucking black people in the church before.
How many clears did you make last?
Hey, I always care. He used to be a close friend.
Yeah, I know, but you're working for the devil now.
You know what they always say? You never know who the devil is unless you really know who the devil is.
Thank you. You don't know who the devil is until you really know who the devil is. There were never any black people in the church before. If you want to know about the Nation of Islam, you got to come to me. This is what he's saying. He's the person who's running the Inglewood, is what he's saying. So Inglewood, the Inglewood org, he's telling you got to go to him. He's telling you that there were never any effing black people in the church before. What kind of church is that? What kind of person talks like that? He called you a Schwarzer. That's a Yiddish. That's a Jewish name for the N-word. That's the way he's describing you. Where's your dignity? Where's your self-respect? Are you kidding me?
Islam. So
Brother Kevin, would you like to respond to that before I respond?
I'm gonna let brother. Let's see. Hold up. Hold the thought, brother RIZZA. Brother Kevin, would you like to respond, or would you like to save it for closing?
All of this, I'll close now. All of this is so simple. If you believe that God came and raised the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and gave him supreme wisdom, then it stands alone. It is in need of no helper organization, no helper applications, no helper apps. It is from God directly. Anything else is from below. What the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us is from above. And we don't need anything else to understand it. Otherwise, the messenger of Allah would have given it to us. Thank you.
And I'll add to that. That was actually one of my questions, which you can go ahead and sum up, and you can carry us out. I'll let Ishmael close too. But one of my questions was, I'm a devoted follower of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and we talk about. A matter of fact, I did a chapter on it like last week. We talk about the soul of man, and it reminds me of what you talk about, clear and things of that nature. But I don't see anything outside of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings that I would need to refine me in any way, shape, or form. I believe that he's a prophet. Matter of fact, I have confidence, faith, and I'm sold. I'm done. It's a wrap. He brought everything we need. There's nothing else I need. That's where I'm at with it.
That's what any believer would say.
How do you respond? Yeah, Kevin Ali, he hit it right on the head. How do you respond to someone and say, well, you know, you was taught by God, Allah, in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, but now we just need this little bit over here to add to that which God in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad has taught us. How do you respond to that? I mean,
yes, sir. Number one.
First thing first, and then I'm done.
Okay, yes, sir. Well, I'll respond to that first. Number one, this apparatus, this system, this application that we are utilizing right now is something called YouTube. Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not invent it. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad did not invent it. None of them invented it. However, we are using it as a tool to get across our message. Point number one, a black man did not invent YouTube. It was a white man, from my understanding. That's number one. Number two, Izzy Chait. I know him personally. Izzy, Marianne, Joey Chait. I know the entire family. This is why I'm saying to you, brothers, I love you very much. However, now you have only served to benefit the enemy, and you have demonstrated that you must not be followers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but fine, that is only up to Allah to judge. But number one, Izzy Chait. He said there were no black people before the Nation of Islam. Factually incorrect. I have been studying it since 1999. The minister did the lecture, put on the new man in 2010. Izzy Chait was there when Isaac Hayes was studying the technology. Izzy Chait was there when Michael Pomerantz, or pardon me, Brother Michael, another one, not Brother Michael in the Nation, but I call him Brother Michael. He's also an actor as well. He's been in the Church of Scientology. There are many black people who have been in the Church of Scientology since the 80s. So that point is factually incorrect. Number three, Izzy Chait has been sick for a long time. His memory has been feigning and fainting, because that statement he made literally was factually incorrect. And any regular Scientologist who goes to the org will tell you, no, there have been black people here for years. Reverend now Freddie Johnson, another black person who has been there since 1992. Your statement is wrong, and I know Izzy Chait as well. And the statement that he made dealing with Yiddish in no way reflects on the teachings of Scientology or Dianetics. It deals with him being one of the so-called Ashkenazi Jews. So I appreciate his work that he has done in the black community. However, he is still a part of those Ashkenazi Jews. So I do not ascribe to Izzy Chait, nor what he teaches. I ascribe to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he does not push any such thing. So once again, your statements were factually incorrect in the last point. Matter of fact, no, I dealt with both points. So it is a tool. Scientology is a tool, just like YouTube is a tool, just like this car is a tool. When the Moorish traveled, they didn't have cars. They traveled on horses. They didn't have guns. They had swords. They wore clothing in a certain fashion. Now you are wearing different clothing. The shoes you are wearing, these are tools that we use in modern time. We have brought everything up to the modern time that we use to still get out our message and still practice our work. So once again, brother, I appreciate it. And I really thought I was going to have more of a challenge here. I thought there was going to be a real argument, but you once again have proven, brother, that you don't have anything to disagree with other than Minister Farrakhan himself. You may have a personal disagreement. That's what it sounds like to me. There's something personal that you, Brother Ishmael and Brother Kevin, have with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan that you can get cleared up. but I don't see anything that you're saying as far as the teaching. We're not pushing Scientology onto the people. We're not pushing people to become Scientologists. We're not pushing people into the Sea Org. We are pushing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That is what we are teaching. That is what we are pushing. So, brothers, once again, if there is a personal disagreement that you both have, I absolutely, as your brother, encourage you to go and speak to who you know in the nation, in the ranks, and get that off, and you talk to your brothers, just like I'm talking to you, and all love, because I love both of you. And like I said, you both came before me in these teachings. So I have no choice other than to at least acknowledge that you brothers were studying these teachings before me. However,
You're
I
making
think
way
there
too
may
many
be a
assumptions
misunderstanding.
about personal
No, I'm not
vendettas.
making
Way too
assumptions. I
many
said, I
assumptions.
don't know, brother. I don't know. That's all I was saying. I don't know. I never said anything that's certain other than I know what I follow. I know what Minister Farrakhan is pushing and teaching. I know what we are pushing in the ranks of Muhammad, of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. But we are not pushing Scientology onto the people. Once again, we are not pushing people to become Scientologists. Scientology and Dianetics, all of that technology was ours before it was any white man putting his language on it or putting it in a eloquent type of way. All that technology can be proven to come from us, the original people, different tribes of Africa, different tribes here in this native land. It has been ours. Simply, L. Ron Hubbard put certain language on it. And once again, on the first page of Dianetics, he said, quote, "This is a study of over 50,000 years of thinking men upon which Dianetics and Scientology could not be possible. The credit is theirs, not mine. The Caucasian white man is younger than 7,000 years old, and he said over 50,000 years of thinking men, and he was only referring to the original people, which happens to be you and I and us. So once again, that is our technology that another white man tried to put his spin on, but in this case, he actually did something decent, and it can be used as a tool because I have used it and have helped thousands, tens of thousands, to be correct, of lives of my people and our people. And so far, everyone else who's been using it, I have seen improvements from them as well, and they will absolutely have no problem telling you that as well.
And I want to let the record speak that Scientology is absolutely not ours. Dianetics is absolutely not ours. It came from the mind of a science fiction writer, a Caucasian devil, L. Ron Hubbard, who was already proven as being false, is already
the
being
white
proven
man is God
as
now?
pushing, already being proven as pushing a false history, also being proven as supporting and endorsing abortion, as well as abortion taking place in 2018 in his organization, as well as racist, as well as racist Izzy Chait, as well as those who support Izzy Chait and who he's talking about. He was talking about how he ran that. So, in other words, when Izzy Chait is found, hold on, brother, control your emotions. Go grab the cans. My point is this. No, my point is this: that when Izzy Chait is found and convicted, caught on audio using the racist rhetoric, it's all of a sudden Izzy Chait was out of his mind. He's losing his memory. When Ali Muhammad was caught saying that Scientology makes white people not the devil anymore, he misspoke. Yeah, that's the ticket. All of these excuses, when we present the proof and the evidence of what's going on in the Church of Scientology. So of course, you're going to continue to push your route and do what you need to do. You're walking the company line. I get it. But what we're going to continue to do is to make sure that the community gets the accurate information so that they are armed with the proper knowledge in order to defend themselves. Scientology is not in the best interest of our people. Scientology is just another religion being forced on Black people, no different than Christianity and the other religions that have been used to the detriment of our people. So we're obligated to make sure we don't make the same mistakes as Jonestown and Jim Jones. We'll make sure that we are to defend our people and treat them, again, making sure that they're getting the accurate information coming from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the broader Black community. That's who we serve and that's who we answer to. Those who choose to still side with Scientology after the truth has been presented, that is totally up to them. Our job is to make sure that they understand that Xenu is the God of Scientology. Our job is to make sure to understand that they know that this is a group that is endorsing abortion and the destruction of our people. So we are doing our job to make sure that the community stays informed, and you are welcome to continue walking your path right down into that Church of Scientology. Thank you.
So, Brother Ishmael, I want to say this, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate my brother Kevin Ali. I think y'all both did wonderful jobs, but I want to extend the closing remarks to my brother RIZZA, just because brother Kevin Ali and and Ishmael Bey with the 2, it just seems it just seemed more than the 1 brother. That's it. That I'm not choosing any side because I don't have a horse in the race. But what I would like to do is have my brother RIZZA.
That's more than fair, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to have him close out, brother. I appreciate you for taking the time. You spent a lot of time here. This is a conversation that many people like to hear someone from the Nation of Islam to expound on it in the way that you did tonight. And brother, I think that's honorable and I think that's commendable. And with that, I rest and I yield the floor with your closing remarks. And when you finish, you can wa alaikum salam, salam alaikum, and I cut the feed.
Yes, sir. So first off, before I give my closing remarks, Brother Kevin and Brother Ishmael, I thank Allah for the both of you coming on in this for this dialogue, because this is something absolutely all of the people needed to hear. All of us needed clarification so that we understand that there is no misleading the sheep, misleading the flock, delivering the people up to Shaitan or the devil, you know, a Jim Jones cult type of scenario. Again, as Brother Ishmael was stating clearly, we just wanted to make sure, are we in the best interest of the people, or are we in the interest of some Caucasian group trying to kill the people? And the truth is that no, we are absolutely pushing the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Allah's man in person, the exalted Christ, or one who was given power by God to crush the wicked. And that is what we're pushing. So my closing remark is, Brother Ishmael made a few statements. He said that, RIZZA, what you're doing is you have to walk the company line, as though I work for the Church of Scientology. No, I do not. Number 2, he stated dealing with us pushing this devilish thing and all the lies that he stated before. He tried to reiterate it to get the minds of the people to say, oh, that's what they are teaching. Abortion is not taught by the Church of Scientology. Devilishment is not taught by the Church of Scientology. The Nation of Islam is not pushing for people to become Scientologists, nor are we pushing for people to join the Sea Org. We are only pushing the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we utilize tools just like me, you, and us are utilizing this YouTube as a tool to get across our movement, our mission, to deliver the dead, to do what it is that we have to do. If you say that everything from a white person is evil, then we need to take off these phones and put them in the trash. We need to go off this YouTube and put that in the trash. You need to put away most of these cars and vehicles. We need to do all of that if that's what you're saying. So the tool is what we use with Scientology. As a Scientologist, meaning that is your religion, then you have a different way of doing things. And you said the God of Scientology is Xenu. No, it is not. The 8th dynamic, 8th part of life. This is in their books. You can go look at it yourself. There's a book called The Fundamentals of Thought that goes over what the God is, which is the 8th dynamic, 8th part of life, which they classify or describe as infinity, the supreme being. But for those who have a different religion, we call God by a different name. Just like the Moorish Science Temple has a language, the Nation of Islam has a language, the Hebrew Israelites have a language, the Christian churches have a language, all the different religious sects groups have a different language. So the Church of Scientology has their own language. So I do apologize, brother, if you make a very simple elementary mistake thinking that because they classify something differently in their language or their words as how we classify it. No, sir. Our God is Allah, God who came and appeared to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, July 4th, 1930. Our messenger is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and our leader, teacher, and guide is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is the not successor, but the international representative sitting in the seat of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad by his permission. So nothing that you have stated tonight has been proven, and everything that I have stated has been proven. So I appreciate you once again, brothers, for coming on. And brother, thank you for utilizing your platform to facilitate this, because the people, like you said, they need to know the truth. And when they see Brother RIZZA Islam in person, when they see us from the Nation of Islam in person, brother, ask us any question. You know we ain't scared of nothing. We family. Ask us questions, brother. I love you, and I love my people, so I am not afraid to answer questions. But we are not pushing some white ideology. We are pushing what we push, but however, we use different tools for us to be better personally in our lives, as I have outlined already. So we do what we do, which is the same thing that has been done, but in modern time, of course, things may look a little different with phones and social media and things, etc. like that. But no, sir, the Nation of Islam is the same Nation of Islam. Don't get it twisted, because all of our energy and our anger is towards this enemy. It is not towards any one of us. And you know that. So anytime the fighting and the physical war comes into play, that is reserved for this enemy, who the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is doing a beautiful job of exposing. So let us do well not to indirectly work for this enemy by dividing one another in the house. You, Brother Ishmael, are my brother. Brother Kevin, you are my brother. Brother, you are my brother. We are all brothers, or supposed to be. So let us come together and not allow the enemy to come in between our unity, because you know that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that our unity is more powerful than a hydrogen or an atomic bomb. All we need to do is fire the cannon of our unity, and we will be successful.
And let's make absolutely no mistake about it. Let the public also know that absolutely we are unified on that. As we also said in the beginning of this particular conversation, we are family, and we're having this family discussion because it has to be had. So by having this discussion, don't misinterpret that we have any type of hatred or it's personal towards one another. Be sure, even if there's some type of a petition going around, that we all sign it to get Brother Ben's channel back on. I posted that on my page to support him to get his page back up. There was a lot of positive content on there that people need to know and see, because it dealt with so much vast stuff. So as the younger generation comes up, as the older generation passes on, make sure that everybody knows having a discourse or having a disagreement on a particular point does not cover everything about the people. We are family first. And if we disagree on one point, as again, we're unified under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we still are unified on that, and no outsider will be allowed to ever interfere with that.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I think that's a great closing remark. I want to thank y'all again. I appreciate y'all. And I'm looking forward to the next conversation on topic here on Moorish World TV. I appreciate you, bro. I shook this brother hand in DC. Same shot. I was demonstrating the Moors. He was moving through the area and shook this brother hand. He made himself personable, real family. I mean, and then I start seeing him like, whoa, this brother got a sword like I do. You know, so honor to the brother. Thank you to the chat. Y'all did good. I didn't see a lot of curse words. If you've seen your comments were blacked out. Some of these comments I have them pre-arranged that if you say certain words or certain phrases, you black out. If somebody said something about Master Farah Muhammad, it got blacked out. If somebody said something about the minister, it got blacked out. So some of these things gets blacked out and it's pre-set up, and then those who got the little tool on there, they use that tool because we ain't not coming at each other with aggression and disrespect to our leaders and our guides. So with that being said, peace and love, family, and I'll see y'all next time. Ali Muhammad, you up next, brother. Peace and